the tomatoes and the cucumbers. This is kind of a maintenance tool, but also kind of a growing tool, and I also use it as a harvesting tool. This is a broad fork. We have the 14-incher from Meadow Creature, and this is to mimic deep tillage without actually turning the soil. In our area, it's really used to help bust the heavy clay and allow for better drainage. Yeah, there's tons of videos on broad forks and their benefits. The only downside is that you have to work, which really isn't a downside. But we've done this to every one of our beds since we've built them, probably at least 3 times. And so it really helps us grow nice carrots. It's probably the biggest benefit you see from it. And it's good for the worms. Yeah, this is a good tool. If you're gonna market garden or even just garden and grow your own food, this is definitely something you should consider. And don't buy the ones with wooden handles, you'll break them. Especially if you have heavy soil, you'll definitely break them. I broke 2, and we found this one and we're like, okay, that's for real. That's actually gonna work. Another tool we use a lot is these wire hoops. These are from Johnny's, and this is where we get our seeds from too, if anybody's wondering. Johnny's Seeds, that's where you can get a lot of tools from. These go over the beds and allow us to put the row cover on. And since we grow all year in our climate, the row cover really helps out, especially we dipped down to 16 degrees and we didn't lose a lot of stuff because we had the row cover. But these come in handy too for insect net. So that's another thing I'll say that we use for growing is the row cover and the insect net. The insect net's really expensive, but it keeps the bugs off so we don't have to spray. And that means a lot to our customers and to us. So, you know, for us in our market and our context, that works. And also for growing in the tunnels, the tomatoes and the cucumbers, we trellis them. So we have these things called tomahawks, and we also use them to put row cover up over the tomatoes that we start early or try and push late into the fall. And another thing for growing is irrigation. So just regular old drip tape. Everything we run on the irrigation from the water source is 1/2 inch. So anything in the plots is 1/2 inch. And we use wobblers, so they mimic rainfall. Everybody's situation might be different. I have an older video on it, and if you want to see that, I mean, that's pretty context driven too. So, but they have different nozzles, so it changes how much water comes out, so your gallons per minute versus what your well can put in. There's a lot of stuff that goes into irrigation. That's a whole other video in itself. Alright, now we've gone through maintenance, so tools to build the beds, prep the beds, maintain the beds, and the rest of the farm. Then stuff used to grow, the tunnels, the tarps, little tricks and stuff here and there. This is probably one of the most valuable tools we have. And this is the greens harvester from Farmer's Friend. So this thing is not cheap at all, and you need the drill to run it. And it's an amazing tool though. So it seems expensive at first, but as you're getting into it, like especially things like arugula, and like we do this baby kale mix, 2 beds, like 2 beds, 2.5 beds of harvesting with this will pay for itself. I mean, this thing paid for itself in like, I think 2 or 3 weeks here when we started, and we're getting into the swing of things. So it has the blade that spins and this brush that comes around and knocks the leaves into it, and then it comes into the basket, and then you dump the basket out. So other post-harvest tools that we have that really make a difference, we think, are the bubbler. So this is used to bubble the greens, knock the dirt off. If there's any bugs, it will knock the bugs off. We also put the root crops in there. We put the carrots, beets, turnips, and bubble off dirt. So maybe there's some dirt in the bunches, just trying to give everybody like a clean product. But mostly it's used for greens, and then when it comes out of the bubbler, it goes in the spinner, which is a washing machine converted with a timer that neighbor Phil helped us do. He's an electrician, and that thing really helps. Otherwise, yeah, hand spin it. Like I was hand spinning like 40-50 pounds a week, and was like, this is ridiculous. So we were able to, with his knowledge, we were able to convert it in 3 hours. So, but there's videos out there about it. I don't know anything about it. I was just doing the work and listening to what he said. The harvest knife, just something with a smooth blade that leaves a clean cut on the greens, because the cleaner the cut, the longer it will last. Generally, that's how it's been for us. Then we use hand shears on the microgreens, so instead of cutting with a knife, we took it apart, cleaned it. We use food grade lubricant on that, just like we do the greens harvester, and clean it before and after each use. And it's really effective. Tori does the microgreens, and she can cut through them really, really fast. And then one of the biggest tools is something that we built here in our garage, just to lay the land. The garage made sense. It's a cooler, and it's cooled by an AC unit and a CoolBot. So the CoolBot's like $400, I think. Here's a new one. Still have to fix this, put the insulation back, move this, but yeah, it's working. The important thing was that we got that fixed right away, got it back down to temperature. It's gonna be kind of cold tonight, so it's not gonna make that big of a deal. And we kept the vegetables in here cool, as well as these kimchis. This is a CoolBot. This is what we use to cool the cooler with. And so this thing has a heater that heats up the thermostat on the air conditioner, tricking it to run longer. And this measures the air of the cooler, and then tells, or I guess it would let the heater cable cool down so that the AC will shut off, therefore keeping it at a temp. So we're just testing it. I'm gonna keep this at, what's it, greens is 37, right? I think is the rule for it. Yeah. So we'll set this to 37 and monitor this tonight, see how it does. But I think it'll be fine. So yeah, that's a lot of tools. We didn't buy them all right away. We waited till we had the cash flow to buy them. And yeah, we have no business debt. We've gone over things in vlogs, like how to think about the accounting of all of it, and the overall mindset, because this is really a lifestyle, it's not a job. And we run it like a business, not a farm. So it's a business that happens to be a farm, not a farm that happens to be a business. So the thoughts that go into it initially aren't emotional, really. They're logical. And Tori has a master's degree in accounting and has worked in corporate jobs, working with big numbers, big data. She's really, really talented at Excel. It's really helped. So we use QuickBooks too. I guess I could go talk about the technology side. So we use QuickBooks for all the accounting stuff. I say we, really Tori does. So that helps paint a realistic picture, and I don't do any of it, to be honest. Tori does all of it, and then I just ask her for a few big numbers, and then so I get to focus on this stuff, video stuff, social media marketing stuff, all those different things. Well, I guess that brings up the other thing. So other tools we use is like the camera. It's a Canon Rebel T6i EOS or whatever, and I don't know how to use it really, to be honest. I just put in autofocus, and then, you know, your phone is a big tool for communication. Customers call, customers text, customers email, customers message on Facebook, customers message on Instagram, responding to things on YouTube, looking at the website, seeing how it comes out through, seeing how it comes through on a mobile. Tori does the website, so just built an online store, and we're trying to work with other farmers, and like, so you gotta talk to those guys, and there's a lot of other things beyond growing and beyond maintenance and beyond harvest and post-harvest. Yeah, I guess it's kind of a lot, but it's not that hard to learn. All right guys, I hope that helped answer some questions or give somebody insight they're looking for or whatever. I tried to mix in video clips there to show, I tried to mix in video clips there from the older videos from the vlog through 2020 to show, you know, how we use them, what it's actually like to use them, a little more information like the CoolBot thing. And alright guys, it's been like a month since I recorded that and made a video. A lot of stuff happened. I'll go over that in the next video, but the last tool or whatever I would say that's important is your own mind. And what I mean by that is, you can buy all these tools and you can buy all the tunnels, but if you don't know how to use them, and you don't know how to work efficiently, and you don't know how to grow stuff, and you whatever, don't know how to sell stuff, all of the above, then the tools aren't going to really do anything for you. So the way I look at it is, the biggest return on investment we can get with the tools is by cash flowing them. You work your farm and your sales outlets and all those other things into a spot where it actually fits in. So like, you know, we use this stuff all the time. None of it really just sits around and is something that we bought that we don't really use. And yeah, and you can learn more things about growing, you can learn more things about soil, you can learn more things about business and how your business is, and you can learn more about your microclimate, the area you live in. Like, we just had an ice storm and a really cold week, but we have to prep for all that. So understanding our weather patterns, which is a whole other thing to get into, like, it's gonna be way different for everybody else. And that kind of brings up another thing, like the methods you use to grow and the methods you use to, if you're building a farm or you're building a garden, it's real easy to get to become what I like to call an algorithm victim. And so that means you look up one style of gardening or farming or growing, all of a sudden it seems like there's this world of this certain style, and this certain style is right because all these people are saying this and that. Well, a lot of times it's really not the case. Some people have really good native soil that they start with, and some people don't, like we didn't. So I go through and do the work to build the beds and don't just put down stuff over top of it. And you know, we need to grow root crops, and if you're just growing greens and shallow rooted things, that's okay. It's totally context driven. And the other thing too is people's weather is going to be different. So we got 80 inches of rain last year, and the soil's been wet all winter. So the tunnels save us big time. And I actually talked to the meteorologist in Charlotte and asked him what the future weather looks like for our area, and he said hotter summers and heavier rain events. So that's something that's coming from the chief meteorologist, whatever. It's probably gonna be like that for a while, I'd imagine. Yeah, I just wanted to put that in there for the end of this. You know, the tools are cool, and the reality is, don't think it's gonna be like your golden key or whatever the word is to make something work. It's really about the more you know. And then, as my old boss used to say, the more you know, the more you don't know. Yeah. And then the other thing, the more you learn, the more you earn. Like, and then the other thing, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. So tons of different philosophies into that, but what it comes down to is, this is something that's doable, but it takes a lot of effort and a lot of thinking and a lot of failing and trialing things out. And yeah, it might look cool on YouTube or Instagram, but remember, Instagram is a visual platform, YouTube is a video platform. You know, it's just, I mean, that's just how the world works right now. That's just a reality. So the real reality is in watching a lot of different things, learning the foundations really well, and then making different things from different farms, growers, gardeners, people on the internet, taking all that stuff and making it work for you in your context. That's the real goal, I suppose, is really, I mean, thinking for yourself and learning as much as you can, trying as much as you can, having a good work ethic. And we're working with nature here. We have to be resilient, as possible, just like the plants and the bugs and everything else out here that's fighting to survive and make things work for it, and you know, find your way into that and make it work. But yeah, so your brain, save the best tool for last. So I hope that helps you guys out. I really wanted to put that last bit in, especially after the month I just had. Yeah, I'm gonna get back into more videos maybe next week, probably the week after for sure. And I was gonna do like the educational video series, but it's been crazy, and I'll explain that in another video. And despite everything, hopefully something really cool is going to happen. And when we when we vlog this year, it will be extra stuff. So we'll have the farm plus something else, which is hopefully going to be really cool. But I should bring a lot of value for the people that want to grow their own food, more than just vegetables, and or if you have a small farm. So yeah, hope that helps somebody out. And thanks for watching.